Hello and welcome to the final episode of Flag Football Update. I am your host, JJ Robinson, and as always, joined with me is Noah Mitchell. Noah, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Coming off of a pretty proud weekend and ready to hit recruiting hard and all the good stuff that comes postseason.
Right, offseason officially here for the team. We went down to Jersey and played 3 games. First day we won both games. There's a couple hour break in between them, but we were able to get through it, go to the hotel for a little bit and get through it. And the second day was elimination game. Unfortunately, we did not end up winning that game, but we put up a really good fight against that team. What did you see throughout the entire weekend?
Yeah, I think throughout the weekend and it was kind of echoed by kind of like my group, my circle of people that have followed us. It's probably the best weekend of flag football we played all year, and I guess that's where you want it to happen too, right? You want it to come in, peak towards the end of the season, and I think that we did peak. Like I said, first game we played on Saturday, it was our first time offensively where we scored all the points, right? Where so far at that point, defense had been our best offense, right? Where it was really, really good to see the offense put drives together, capitalize on opportunities when we do catch interceptions and they don't go for touchdowns. And I think it was, like I said, really good for their confidence offensively to be able to go out and do that. And then the second game on Saturday, we have our first game of the year where we don't throw any interceptions, which is huge for Alana and huge for her confidence.
Right.
And I think that as long as Alana's playing with confidence is when you start seeing the best out of her. She was being decisive with her reads, and if she didn't trust her read or didn't like what she's seen, she's one of the better athletes on the team and was really comfortable pulling it down and running. So it was really, really good to see that. And then heading into Sunday, got to play against a team that had a ton of experience, girls that were recruited from all over the country. It was really, really cool to be able to watch film on them and see all the great stuff that they were doing, the phenomenal athletes that they had over at Siena Heights. And we go out and I think we played another really, really good game. A couple pivotal interceptions, right, changed the final score of that game. But like I said, nothing for the girls to hang their head about. I mean, we played against a team that we lost to, and they won the entire championship. And like I told the girls, there's definitely no such thing as moral victories, but it's still a ton to be proud of from the season and more directly that game.
Definitely, just the way they ended their season compared to when they started was you could see the growth.
Yeah.
And it's exponential. It's not even recognizable, that team, compared to that first game we played up at Bethany.
Yeah.
Is incredible to see how you were able to develop the team.
Well, like I said, the girls were all thanking me and that sort of stuff in exit meetings yesterday, and I kept telling them, they were the ones that I went out and did it, right? Those were the ones that got up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to weights every Tuesday and Thursday. Those were the ones that stayed up late after a practice to do their schoolwork and make sure that they were staying eligible to be able to compete. Those girls deserve a ton of credit. They grew from week 1 to this past weekend exponentially, and hopefully they carry that confidence with them into the offseason and grind their tails off and don't get complacent and come back hungrier to be more successful than we were this year.
Definitely. And then the biggest story throughout the entire season, we're a small team. And the thing that finally came to get us that we've been pushing through, the injuries finally caught up with us this week.
Yeah, the injuries got us Saturday. We lost Jordan Reynolds, who was a strong boundary linebacker for us, who had played pretty solid all year. I told her, after she got injured that just how safe I felt with her to the boundary, making reads, staying patient, waiting for the quarterback to scramble. And just let her know how important she was to what we did defensively. And she's an older student, a senior. She's been in athletics for a while. Told her she needed to stay focused and stay locked in to help out Chrissy, who was going in there to play that position for her. And she did a fantastic job helping Chrissy with her eyes and reads and staying patient and all that sort of stuff. So unfortunately wasn't able to get her back on Sunday or Saturday, even Saturday after she got hurt. And then Alicia Young was another big one that got hurt for us Saturday. Nothing. I don't believe either of them were any injuries that were too crazy. Alicia obviously came back Sunday and was able to give us a little bit of something on defense. Missed her on offense a little bit, but we got girls that are able to step up, and they're just gamers at the end of the day. Like I said, Chrissy never played any nickel or dime at all this year and was able to step in because she does so good of taking notes and learning and retaining information that she was able to step in and be fill that void as well as she could. Like I said, after having no experience in it. And then to be able to flip around and the receivers make up for what we missed in Alicia's game on Sunday. Kamaya had a couple fantastic catches. Emily had a couple fantastic catches. Mitchell got involved in the jet sweep game where she's been really, really strong. She had a couple big catches as well, actually a first down, which is a very impressive catch. And then Chrissy having to play both ways. So like I said, everyone stepped up. Everyone made up for the injuries. But like you said, being a team that was so small, I think we went into the weekend with 12 girls and you lose 2, it really feels like you lost 20 whenever you lose, 2 girls. So, but no, we battled our tails off. And like I said, we played some of our best flag football that we did all season there at the end.
Definitely, especially on Sunday, just even though we were short on numbers, even Alana, just a beautiful touchdown pass that she had in that game, which I don't think I've ever seen her throw a ball like that before.
I told her, because I said confidence is everything with Alana, and I told her, I said that was probably the best ball I've ever seen her throw in practice, warming up, whatever it may have been. That was the best throw she's ever thrown in her life, and she, like I said, she's going to keep building on it. I think she's a grinder. She wants to be good. She fell in love with quarterback, so I think she needs to put in the work this summer to continue to develop her quarterback game. She's only been playing for 6 months. We had our exit meeting, and I talked to her, and we went through all the fall and part of the winter, never knowing that she could play quarterback. Right? Never expressed any interest in it. Never took throwing the football serious. And then we report in the spring, and it's like, Alana, let's try this out, and just took off from there with it. So. She's just tapping into what she could be as long as she wants to dedicate herself to it and keep on putting the work in to what she can be at that quarterback position or in flag football in general.
Definitely just hell of an athlete just to be able to go out there, like you said, never playing quarterback before, and then doing what she did all season long, just being able to improve every week.
Definitely was impressive.
It was. It's just the entire team, I guess, at that, just improving through every week just from where they began. I remember I came in late into the semester, and then seeing even yourself, like your coaching style kind of changed a little bit throughout the season, just when you realized.
You know what? Kamaya Williams sat down with me in the exit meeting yesterday and said that I got soft as the season went on. She said she went away for a visit and then came back, and she said, I don't know what happened to you over those 2 days. You got soft. The girl softened you up. But I think I was really, really hard in the beginning, and I learned how to adjust to fit their coaching needs. Coming from coaching men's football my whole, I shouldn't say whole life, but the whole adult life of coaching, it is a more gritty, aggressive coaching style in some aspects. And while some of the girls, like Kamaya, like Alicia, they respond to that well because they've played for Coach Strom, who's fiery and gets after them, and has been great for those girls. Not everyone else was accustomed to that, right? So I think I appreciate you noticing that. And like I said, Kamaya, I don't know if Kamaya calling me soft was necessarily the right evaluation, but I definitely think I evaluated our team and how we needed to get through to the girls. And JJ, like I told you, how many times you did a fantastic job with the girls too. I know they got on you a little bit, but
a little bit, maybe all the time.
The time, but no, it was great. You were great for them. It was really, really good for building up the program and the team and getting the girls to come together as a team and not just be individuals.
Yeah, just everything from like you were the pillar of the program for the first year. That's something you'll remember forever. This university is going to definitely remember it. Just first year program, being able to do what we did, put up 10 wins in the first season, which doesn't happen very often for a first year program.
Yeah, no, it was definitely something special. The girls worked their tails off. Like I said, starting back in August when we had 5 people at the very first meeting with the president, and even within some of those 5 girls, we lost some out of that, and we're still able, like I said, to put a team together. But the girls worked their tails off. They were determined. They believed in themselves, and I think that's why we got the outcome we did, because they came together. They were driven, and they believed that they were going to be something bigger than just being, hey, it's our first year, right? I think it's easy to look back and say it's our first year. No matter how good or no matter how bad we do, we're always going to be remembered as that team that played in their first year. And there's going to be a positive light shined on that, just being your first year team. But they wanted to be remembered as someone, hey, it was our first year, but we were also really successful. And there's still heights that we need to climb. Like, don't get me wrong, 10-6 won't be the standard of what's accepted here. Championships and national rankings is where we want to be seen at. But for groundwork, I think we have something to be proud of and something to continue to build off of.
Definitely, and something that even helped the team throughout the entire season. I don't think we went to one game where we didn't have some sort of fan in the stands. I don't think there was one game we were at that there wasn't at least one person.
No, that was awesome. I think Emily's mom traveled to every single away game. Maddie's parents were at every game. Kay Bella's parents, I seen they brought the trailer out to the camper out to this past weekend. And then, like I said, you talk about all the family, and then I told you, when we did the show after the home games, I don't know if any other university did it the way that we did it. With the tailgates, with the cornhole tournaments, the food trucks, really rallying the not only the community but the student body to come out and support athletics here, which isn't really a surprise. I think, you look back at it, across all the other sports teams here, I think we bring a good crowd out because we're proud of what we do in athletics, and the community rides with us and they support us through everything.
Definitely, and just especially people coming out to the games at home, they don't really know flag football, but they want to support. Like, anything they know goes a long way with, especially Division II in a smaller school like us. Just being there helps out a ton.
Yeah, I think I said that in one of our first shows, is that while it's not football, right, but it has the characteristics of football, and people love football, and it's a fun, it's a fast, and it's an exciting sport. So I think it was easy to get behind because of the characteristics that flag football comes with, right? It's a fast-paced game where things are going to happen quickly. There's not going to be much downtime in between plays because of that. Game clock is always running, so teams are rushing to try to get plays in. There's not, like I said, not much downtime. It's exciting, and I think that's why it's easy to grab fans in, right? You got the name, the title of it being football, and then the flag element of it being new and growing in women's sports, which is the kind of attractive piece. And then once they get in and actually see the sport, I think is where it really hooks people and they stay locked into it.
Definitely, especially because the growing, like you said, growing sport, it's even going to be in the Olympics, in the next Olympics, which just helps broaden just the gaze that we get.
Right, and we live in America where we can't be bad on the national stage in sports. So, it was something for people to get fans, like you talk about, to get their eyes on early before you look at it at that national Olympic level, to put some familiarity to it. So when you do watch it, like I said, in LA, that you actually kind of know what's going on.
Definitely. I don't have any more questions. Anything else to ask you? Do you have anything else for anyone else, like fans? Just stuff like that.
Yeah, I kind of said all the thanks. I think last show we were on, and
you said like 10 times.
For the home games. I couldn't stop saying thank you. But it's been great. Like I said, girls appreciate it. I know we've appreciated it. JJ, I appreciate you coming out here and giving us your time when you got everything else going on with work and all that sort of stuff. We probably wouldn't have had the season we had with the success without you. So I appreciate you coming out and helping us and sticking with this thing moving forward, being at the foundation of what this sport is.
All right, and I just want to thank you and even just all the athletics program for letting me be a part of this season. It was definitely fun.
For sure.
Girls were hard to deal with sometimes because of how they, how they are.
They get on JJ.
But it was a fun season. I was grateful to be a part of it, and I just want to thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But with that, I think that's the end of the flag football update for Coach Mitchell.
There it is.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you, CUTV, for being a part of this season. And hopefully we'll see you back here next year for the second season of flag football. So with that, everyone, have a good rest of your day.